Shalom. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Let's get it. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Now the he is talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man, alright? Starting with the elite banking families, the rulers of the earth. It says he calls it all, meaning young, old, alright? From the youngest to the oldest, to the richest to the poorest, and those that are free and those that are incarcerated. So Esau Edom, he's going to require the entire earth, not just a particular country, the entire earth. He's going to require them to do something. And what is that? It says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now that mark represents the RFIDCHIP. Now we go into the Greek word for mark is Charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark. So this mark is going to be physical. It says of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach, right? So this is physical, right? This mark is going to be imprinted. It's going to be stamped either in your forehead or in your right hand. And those that take this mark, this Charagma, are basically bowing down to Esau Edom. It also says the mark branded upon horses. Now, today you have people getting their animals, their pets, CHIP'd up. And this devil, Esau Edom, he looks at us as cattle, like we're animals. So he's going to try to make the entire earth get this mark. It also says thing carved, sculpture, graven work. See? Now to carve something, it means to cut. Alright? Now we're going to get into how he's going to cut people to put this mark in them. It also says of idolatrous images. And this is what you call idol worshiping. So those that take this mark are worshiping this devil. Now I want to go into the root word, the etymology for Charagma. Now the Greek word is charax. It says a pale, a stake, a palisade. Now basically that's talking about a syringe, all right? And what a syringe do? It cuts, all right? So they're gonna use a syringe to inject this mark in you, making it a physical mark, you know? This is not spiritual like these other camps say it is. You got other camps saying, you know, the mark of the beast, spiritual. Got them saying it's white women, you know, all kinds of nonsense, but this mark is physical. All right, they're gonna use a syringe to inject it in you. Now I'm going to the root word of Karax. And it says grapho. The Greek word is grapho. Now it says to write with reference to the form of the letters. So basically, all of your information is gonna be in that mark, in that Charagma, in that MOTB. You know, this is what's coming in the near future. You know, it's already here. You have it in Europe, Sweden, got people taking it, but soon it's gonna be mandatory for everyone on the planet Earth to get this mark. You know, a cashless society is coming. You know, Esau Edom, the devil, you know, he gradually went from cash to debit and credit cards, then to putting a CHIP on your card to tap, you know, to the kiosks to make purchases. Now you can make purchases using, you know, Apple Pay, you know, tapping your phone or your watch to make purchases. And next is gonna be done, you know, by your hand or forehead being scanned to do everything. This is what's coming to the entire earth, right? The hour of temptation. This is going to be a test for us Israelites. Back at Revelation 13 and 17, that no man might buy or sell. All right? So you're not going to be able to buy or sell anything without this mark. All right? This is why it's called the hour of temptation. To try the world, right? Going to the word try means to test. You know, it's going to be a test for the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. right? But if you take this mark, you're gonna be destroyed. And the only ones that's not gonna take this mark are the elect of Israel. You know why? Because the Lord said his servants shall eat. Alright? They're gonna have the faith, the fear of Yahweh Shem Shah, and they're gonna stand 10 toes down for the Lord. So the elect is not gonna take this. No. Let me read it again. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. So the only ones that's gonna be able to buy or sell are the ones that had this Charagma, this MOTB. Now, this shows you that Esau Edom, the devil, his one world currency is going to be programmed into this MOTB, right? Because it's going to be a cashless society. You know, this fiat is going to be done away with, you know, and everything is going to be digital. So the one world currency, you know, is going to be in this mark. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The Greek word for 666, which is 666, is chi psi stigma. Now let's go into the etymology of the word stigma. It says, mark made on skin by burning with hot iron. It also says mark of a pointed instrument, a puncture, a tattoo mark brand. It also says to stick, pointed. Now, let's go into the word puncture. It says, the etymology for puncture, it says a pricking. It says to prick, pierce, right? And pierce means to cut, all right? When you get your ears pierced, they put in a hole through your ear, all right? You get the earring gun, or whatever it's called. You put it to your ear, and they press that button. And the earring, the needle of the earring pierces through your ear. Now that's how it's going to be with the syringe. The syringe is going to pierce through your skin and inject that mark. All right? Back that up, let's go to the word prick. The etymology for the word prick, it says pointed object, something that punctures or stabs. And that's the point. The syringe is going to stab through your skin and insert that mark. It also says a sharp point punctured, right? Yeah, and that sharp point, that's gonna be from the top of that syringe. It's gonna pierce through your skin. It also says minute mark made by sticking or piercing. That was the point. Revelation 13:16. That mark is physical. It's not spiritual, like these other cats are saying. This is a physical mark. Now I'm going to read Revelation 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, who's the beast? NATO and the EU, right? It says in his image, going into this system, this new world order, it says, and receive his mark in his forehead on his hand. We know that mark is the Charagma. It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation. So those that take this mark is going to drink the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shem HaShah. They're going to drink the wine of his anger. It says, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Now, when you, for example, you buy a bottle of Hennessy, right? Now, Hennessy by itself is potent. Now, when you pour, people use chaser, Pepsi, cranberry juice, whatever, to dilute the potency, the strength of the Hennessy. But guess what? Yahweh Shem HaShah wrath is going to be poured out without mixture. So you're going to get the full strength of Yahweh Shem HaShah wrath if you take this MOTB. Mainly I'm talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Now you're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone. And that fire and brimstone, that fire is going to be coming from the 200 million warheads that's coming to this place, right? And it's going to be fire coming out the chariots. All right? It says in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Yahweh Mashiach, our Lord and Savior. So if you take this MOTB, if you don't stand 10 toes down for Yahweh Shem HaShah, guess what? You have a missile with your name on it. It's going to be aiming for your head. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.